Tall Mouse Creative Arts, and welcome to our first adventure with Mega Make and Take Scrapbook Expo. We are thrilled to be here with you guys today. We partnered with Prima Marketing, who is bringing you the products, and then we're going to bring you the projects that we're going to craft today. And in just a few moments, we're going to come in a little bit closer so you can look at all the fine detail on what we're going to get into today. We're going to take a look at your kit. We're going to take a look at all the tools that I use to make the projects, and then we're going to take a look at projects in progress, which we're going to finish together. So if you're ready, let's come on in so we can take a look at what came in your kit. So Prima Marketing had a bag in your kit, looks like that, and then 3 things were included. You've got a 6x6 paper pad Nature Garden collection. You have a strip of Say It With Crystals, which has lace and lovely crystals. And then you know they're known for their flowers, so you've got a 6-pack of canvas flowers, which are beautiful, and we're going to use some of those in our project today. And then in your larger kit, you're going to have the 2-page project sheet in case you want to go back and do this again. And then a sheet of welcome and hello with a bunch of different fonts, so you can pick which font fits your mood when we finish up the wreath. So that is what is coming in your kit, and then we're going to jump on over to tools. These are all the tools that I used. Some are optional and some are recommended. That's listed in your project kit. So we started with a piercing tool. We've got fine detail scissors. And then we've got I just pulled a collection of ribbon that matched the paper pad. Twine. We've got the steel edge clear ruler. Regular scissors, regular pencil, regular stapler. We have black ink. We've got 2 different types of bone folders, but I did use one of them. We've got the finger daubers. We have liquid zip dry glue because it dries really quick. And then we have our tape runner. And then we're going to pop on over to this section and take a look at things in progress. Now, the heart that I made, this one is a really large heart. This is used with 12 by 12 paper. I know you don't have 12 by 12 paper in your kit, but when you are done learning how to make this, you can obviously make them larger. And then this is the smaller one, which we are going to finish today. So this is the 6 by 6 one. This is just showing you it in a larger format. And then as you notice, the wreath is not finished, but it's definitely in progress. We're going to finish it together, and that's what it looks like in progress. So, all right. You guys are going to take a look at this while we flip our table so we can begin our paper crafting session. Okay, we are ready to get into our project making. We broke it up into a couple of different stations. We're going to begin right here and shift down the table. So come on in a little bit closer. And we are going to begin with the paper pad because that was the primary piece in your kit. Lovely paper pad, wonderful set of colors inside, but you guys are going to turn it over because if you notice, this is actually a very thin, the back of it is a very thin piece of chipboard, and that is going to become the base of your wreath. So what you want to do is peel off the sticker on each side a little bit carefully. As you can see, I did that. And then you want to peel off the tag if yours has a tag. You want to be careful with how you peel it. And then we're going to take it off also, put the pad aside, and now this is going to become the base, looking at both sides. It doesn't matter which side you use. I'm going to turn it over on here to do my measurements. We're going to measure this guy and we're going to cut it into an octagon. And just a reminder, all of your measurements are on your project sheet. So I know I'm going to be saying a lot of things, but you can go ahead and refer back to the project sheet. All right, we are going to begin by making 1-inch marks all the way around. We're going to turn this guy. And yep, I'm kind of eyeballing a little bit. I'm using my detail clear ruler. We're going to cut all the way around because this is going to be turning into an octagon. You can use your paper trimmer or you can go ahead and use scissors. For this exercise, I'm going to use my scissors for cutting this guy out. I did use my paper trimmer. Okay, so if you notice, I have 8 little marks here, 1 inch on each side. And then I'm going to take this and just cut my corners off because we are going to begin making our octagon. All right, so we just trimmed our corners off. Now what are we going to do? We are going to fold, whichever side you did, but we're not going to crease. We're going to fold and not do a hard crease. And it's okay if these are a little bit off, it's just going to be your base. And if you're going to crease, you're going to seal it in the middle right there. You can give it a little bit of press. Okay, what is our next step? We are going to measure 1.5 inches from each side towards the center. We're just going to do a little eyeball like that. 1.5 inches. And then we're going to measure 1.5 inches from here up into the center as well. I'm doing this all backwards so you guys can take a look at it. I'm just doing a loose little square right there. Rectangle, excuse me. And now what we're going to do is cut this out, so then when we open this up, this whole square is going to be removed, and this octagon is going to become our base for our wreath. So we're going to cut that right in front of you guys. We're going to go up like that. Now you can also open it up like this and go ahead and cut it open like that. I found that easier than folding it, so I'm just going to turn it and go like this. I'm going to turn it this way, get in there. Okay, now you've got your square. Now you just made a base for your wreath, and we're going to get to that in just one moment. All right, we're going to move on to picking your paper, your colors, but we're going to leave this aside because we're going to use that in just a few minutes. So in looking at your paper colors, you've got your pad. You've got 16 different patterns in here. All of them have been pre-blended for you. That's what Prima does. They pick out their colors great. I'm going to show you what colors I picked. You can go ahead and pick whatever you like. I stuck to just a couple of different designs, and I leaned towards 2 darker ones. I like the birds, so I picked the birds. And then I picked a completely different color, and I'll explain why, to make all of these guys pop. So this is a lighter color. And then when I did trim this one, I left her alone, which I'll explain in a minute because I might do something with her at the end. Now, what you're going to do is, because Jim's going to move in the camera right here, you're going to cut into 21 strips. 20 is going to work for the wreath, and I have these all laid out right here, and I put them in a certain order, which I'll explain in just one moment. And then you're going to have a single one for your hook, and then you're going to have one that's 1 3/4 by 4 3/4 also that your welcome sign is going to go onto. So we'll come back to that in a moment. Now, why did I pick these and lay them out just like this? We're going to give a little quick instructional on color theory. I purposely planted my dark colors in the wheel at certain points, because if you do all light colors, when you look at this, your eye is not going to look at anything in particular. But if you plant some dark colors in strategic places, when the wreath is done, your eyeball is going to circle around and take the whole wreath into vision at the same time. It's going to be very aesthetically pleasing to your eyes, and then your eye will travel in a circle while you look at the wreath. That's what all the coordinating papers do, and they work really well together. So you're going to lay yours out and put 3, and then 2 for your corner, 3, 2 for your corner, and repeat all around in a circle. Okay, you're going to take your first one, or you're going to fold all of these. You're going to take one of them. I'm going to show you how to fold them. I don't think you guys want to watch me fold paper, but we're going to do one of them at first. You're going to put the blank side in, and you're just going to match it up right there. You're not doing any sort of adhesive right now. You're just going to point it, and you're going to fold it. You can use your finger, or you can go ahead and use your Teflon bone folder to get a nice seal. And then we're going to use these little folded guys in just a moment to build your wreath. Now, if you want to go ahead and ink, now would be a time to ink, or you can ink later. I did not do inking. I'll show you what I did do inking on, but not the actual wreath. Just a reminder on how people ink. Take your ink pad. This is a finger dauber, and go ahead and run it on the edges if you would like to ink. That is completely up to you on how you would like your wreath to turn out. So we're going to put that aside. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the wreath form. You can flip it to white looking at you or the gray, doesn't matter, because basically this guy is your stability on the inside of your wreath. It's your wreath form, but it's not going to be seen. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you what looks like in further progress. Okay, so the center one like that, you're going to start in the center and then you're going to adhere both sides. What I did is I laid them out and then I took my tape runner and I ran it like this and I laid it down, and then obviously you have to flip it over and continue. I did one at a time when I did mine. Okay, so that one is stuck right there, and then I would do these sides, these, this. Leave your corners last because they're going to kind of clean up and do a little bit of an overlap, which you're going to jump to in just one moment. So this one's all adhered down. We're going to leave this section right over here, and we're going to jump now over to our almost complete, and we're going to complete it together. So all of these got laid out and glued, the horizontal ones. We're going to finish these guys right here. I'm going to finish those. Okay, so all the flat side and some of my corners are down too. Now I left the flaps up on the particular corner so you can see. These guys are glued down. You can nest them over each other however you'd like. I'm going to take this one at the moment and show you so it contrasts. So if you notice right here, it's going to nest over here and then over here, and you can lay them in whatever order you'd like. Okay, so I want to show you that. So when you go around and do that, this one's not done, but if you notice, I did it two ways. I went in with my fine detail scissors and cut out a little V right there after I laid those down, so that wouldn't show. We'll glue those down in just a minute, but if you come over on this section, I left it right here. So as soon as I glue these down, I'm going to have to get the scissors in there and cut that little base out so nobody sees it. You can do it afterwards or you can do it before, whatever you're most comfortable with. Okay, so you guys are going to see me glue these little pieces down. All right. So basically our wreath is complete as part of the base, all glued down on every side. Verticals and then our corners were all done. Now I'm just going to take this so you guys see getting your little detail scissors in there. You want to use the middle of your scissor. The tips are harder to get in there, and then you want to just pop that little corner out. Okay, now we are prepared for embellishing it. All right, so what are we going to do? We are going to jump to our flowers. We're going to start with our flowers. Half of them are gone because I used them for a different sample. We're going to pop these guys off, and you can use two different ones and then a third one for some contrast. I used one of each to give a nice contrast for the whole entire wreath. So we're not going to glue these down yet. We're just going to get a layout of how they're going to look. And for my wreath, I did a nest of 3. So that's about where we're going to put them. And then we're going to jump to crystals in just a moment. But this allows you to know where we're going to put the crystals and the lace and about where the flowers are going to go. Why are we doing these last? Because you want to go ahead and put everything all around and then put your flowers on in case there's anything that has to go in there, like tails kind of thing. Okay, so now looking at your Say It with crystals, I pre-cut this, and the way I pre-cut this was I counted 3 crystals and cut. 1, 2, 3, cut, 1, 2, 3, cut, 1, 2, 3, cut. I repeated that the entire thing. We're going to peel off the lace to add the decor, but then you do need to cut on some of the crystals in increments wherever you would like, because that's going to become the brighter part of our embellishment. So with me already pre-cutting those, okay, we're going to, well, I thought I pre-cut some of them. All right, so this guy, I'm going to start, see, my flower was going to end about there, And it's not going to entirely curve because we cut those larger pieces. So if you want it to be smaller pieces, that is completely up to you. Ooh. Thought I had these more laid out. That's all right. You guys wanted to see me cut this. Okay, so we're going to decorate the inside of this wreath. We're going to keep going all the way around. You can use the entire, whoops, that is cut. Yikes, one's having a little bit of a challenge. Okay. All right, me and the crystals are fighting right now. All right, we're just going to put that guy in there. You can use the entire lace if you'd like, or you can just go around. Wow, this one's having an issue. I'm going to do that. We're just going to add the crystals right there. And we're probably just going to add one more at the moment. So I did these separately because I wanted to lay out my crystals on my sample, but this of course is not going to cooperate with me right now. Okay, let's get the layout of these guys. Okay, let's get that layout. Now, before we go on to the flowers, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of the crystals all the way around. And then this is just going a little bit above to add your crystals all the way around for a little bit more of a sunburst. That was the whole intention of keeping it separate, is to just space them out just a little bit. So we are going to continue doing that, and then we could continue doing the full entire circle. Now what we're going to do is take our liquid glue, our zip dry, because it dries quite fast, and I'm going to put 2 dots of liquid glue, and I'm going to get my placement on my larger 2 flowers, or on where my flowers are going to go, so that I know exactly where my 3rd one is going to go. And you know, you got a little bit of tails from the zip dry. Okay, and then my 3rd one's going to place in there kind of on top of everything. So while that is stabilizing and drying, we know quick zip dry dries really quick, we're going to fold these up also, which what we did is just take each one of them and we rolled them, if you'd like, to give it a little bit more motion. You can do that. You can leave it flat or you can go ahead and curl that. Then we're going to take a look at our welcome sign. So this is the paper that I used. We're also going to make the hook to hold it. So that is a 1 by 6 inch strip. And then we have our 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then you also have your sheet of welcome and hello. So just the one that I picked was this particular one, and it lays right in there. Now you can trim it to wherever you like. I also inked the edges right there. All right, we're going to run the tape runner on that guy, and we're gonna eyeball centering that. And then with our wreath, curled or not curled, we're just gonna place that in to see where you would like to place it before we adhere it. Now, when I do adhere it, I'm going to put 2 little zip dry circles, because zip dry dries nice and quick. Tape runner, I don't know that it would work so well. You actually want to do the liquid glue, so because you're doing it on top of lace, so you want the liquid glue to really get into there. So if we squish that down in there and give that a moment to dry while our flowers are still drying, we're going to take a look at making the hook. So with that 1 by 6 piece of paper, what we did is basically fold that in half, and then there becomes your hook right there. I'm going to take my tape runner. If you're more comfortable with zip dry or a liquid glue, that's just fine. And then I just did about 3/4 to an inch right there and created that as a hook. And then that's going to go on the back side of the middle one so it hangs evenly with whatever you're doing. So we are going to do this right here and put that and seal it so you have an almost done wreath. Okay, ladies, now you're going to look at this real quick while we flip to the ornament table. We are ready for our open layered heart ornament. So we've got everything ready to get going, and you're going to come in close so we can finish this together. All right, we're going to go back to our our 6x6 pad and choose some colors. For the moment, I chose a dark set and a light set just so they can show up. In my sample right here, I alternated them. You can see dark, light, in order to show it a little bit differently. But for ease of use today, we're going to leave dark on one side and light on the other. And just a reminder, all of the measurements are in the project sheet. So if you have any questions, you can always refer back to that. Okay, these are all going to be 1-inch strips. You need 12 of them, 2 of each size. We're going to start with 6-inch, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4, and then we're going to end with 3-inch. And then you're laying them all up with the print side up, and then you're going to have them face each other. We are going to group them together right now, and we are going to stack them so they become graduated like that in size. And then we're going to do the other side, and then we are going to have them be a little stair stack like that. Now, this is a great time to go ahead and open that guy back up and go ahead and place the twine or ribbon, whatever you want to do, in the middle right there, because we're going to staple this guy together. All right, we're going to do one on that side, and just for safety, we're going to do another one on that side. Okay, now we're going to begin to make our heart. You're going to pull each side down. Oh, I think I did we're going to keep meeting it in the middle like that. One at a time, and you can see the heart forming. I'm trying to do this so you guys can take a look at it. With every single grouping that I pull down, I'm on the 5.5 right now. You can see the heart, and then we are going to be on the last one right here. And I just realized I hung the twine the opposite way, so we will deal with that in a little bit. Okay, so what you have to do is get all of these. Oh dear. Oh, need to start that guy back over. They have to line up. I should not have moved them. Okay, so these guys have to line up all together on the very edge, and then so do these. I was trying to be graceful and do this and show it to you at the same time, but that's not going to work because otherwise I just lost my footing on that. Okay, these guys are all lined up. The heart has formed in the middle. Now I need to hold it really good and take my stapler and go back at it, turn it over and staple it again. Okay. Okay, we are all laid out in a heart like that, and you can squish it for a little bit, and I just realized I did this on the back side. So now if you want to have ribbon, you want to go towards the inside, you can put ribbon in there or twine, and you can go ahead and use zip dry as well. And now is a good time if you would like to ink the edges. Remember, you're going to take your ink and go ahead and do your edges. Not necessary, you can do that if you'd like. We also have our ribbon choices and twine choices. Okay, so this ornament, we're going to use the one that is this size. Now, what can you use that for? You can use them just as nice embellishments. You can hang them on the twine or the ribbon, and you can use ornaments on a tree. You can make a mobile or some sort of garland and make it a couple of different sizes. And then I'm going to put this guy on the other side of here. So this is what you finished making today, a heart, open layered heart ornament, and then your fancy welcome garden nature wreath. Thanks for watching, guys.